Alright, let's go. Okay, that's the speed limit. Right folks, so welcome back to another video. We're here in the GTI and we're finally going to do the first drive video that I've been planning to do for about 2 months now. As you will remember, in the last video we made 492 PS in this thing on the Venom 550 setup. Plenty of power for front wheel drive and also for a stock GTI engine on so many miles. So yeah, I think that side of the build is complete for now. But yeah, the rest of the car, there's still some other stuff that I want to do. But yeah, today's just going to be a bit of fun. We'll get some GoPros hooked up, head out on some familiar country roads and just see what it's like. But before we start with all of that, I just want to take a minute to thank today's video sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a turn-based RPG game available for free on mobile and PC with tons of champions to choose from. Over 600 in fact, so a pretty comprehensive roster. Now Raid does also have a ton of boss battles if you fancy a bit of a challenge. And one of the latest highlights is the introduction of the Hydra. Now as you can see, this thing does look pretty interesting. It's got multiple different heads and each one has its own unique mechanics. It can share the pain and push its damage from itself onto your team. It can scare your champions, rot them from the inside. The thing's definitely a challenge but equally rewarding. So it's a bit like doing downpipes on a right hand drive N54 in terms of difficulty scale. Now easily my favorite thing about this game is how there's just a ton of content here. You got missions, you got quests, you got challenges, a bunch of stuff to tick off, so definitely my cup of tea. Not to mention that the graphics are pretty fantastic for a mobile game. Right, now if all of that isn't enough for you, they are doing a bunch of stuff in Raid this month, ranging from new champions to the brand new faction Wars Crypt for the Shadowkin faction. On top of that, there's New Year's events and tournaments, including the special fusion event where you can get one of Raid's legendary champions. So yeah folks, as you can tell, it's the best time to get started with Raid. You've got two options here. You can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can go down below and click the link in my description. New players will get some freebies and also a free mystery champion to help kickstart your game. You'll only find these rewards in your inbox for the next 30 days. And once you're in, you can find me under the username TRHamza. So yeah, go ahead, click the link and I'll see you in game. But yeah, big thanks to Raid for sponsoring today's video. As you know, with these project cars, the costs definitely do add up. But yeah, let's get cracking with this GTI video now and finally see what it performs like. So yeah, as you will remember, we did do a quick drive on the base tune and the car was very laggy at that point. It was kind of on purpose because it was unfinished and also because we had clutch slip at the time and I had to bed it in a bit more. But yeah, to quick recap on the figures, 492 PS and I believe 549 Newton meters. That was deliberately held back just to make it a bit more drivable. I believe Doug was saying that the R's that they tune on the similar kind of turbo setup have around 100 Newton meters more, so a fair bit, but I prefer a more kind of chase the red line kind of power delivery, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've got traction on right now. We'll give it a little pull before we continue talking. Jeez, that's violent. But I'm not gonna lie folks, I think one of my dampers has packed up because this car's gone very jumpy compared to before. It's almost a bit unnerving, especially on these back roads. I don't know what's going on. Big bang there. You hear all these whip noises and boost noises everywhere. It's got pretty crazy. Right, floor in second, traction on. Edition 30 traction noise. These roads are not really big enough, to be honest. Every time I floor it, I'm at the next corner. We're already at the end of it. I don't know what to say. So I turned traction off. The only issue I got with traction off is that it's got that crazy loud overrun. It either. I know some of you folks will point it out, but luckily it doesn't. My God, it's moving around a bit. This is a totally different animal to before. A totally different animal. Let's hope he stays in one piece for this drive. Yeah, let's go first. Okay, that's the speed limit. Okay, so quick little POV switch up, thought I might as well. Just love how the vector gauge looks in the shot. All the oil and water temps all good. IATs have gone up a bit because I've been sitting here idling, but generally not much heat soak at all. Another little thing I wanted to mention, fuel consumption. Now you may be able to see the range there, it's 75 miles, but believe it or not, that was 155 before we started this little drive. So it's definitely a bit of a guzzler now. Obviously we do have the operated low pressure pump, so it may be linked to that. We did set it up correctly. My Edition 31 never used to read the range correctly because I had the TTRS OEM one. I don't know, there was something wrong with it, and they always told me I had the wrong amount of fuel in the tank. But I think this is genuinely, it's just drinking loads. But for me, it's part of the game, not really nothing new there. But for those of you who want to know, there's your answer. It drinks a lot more than stage 2. As you can tell, we're not actually going that quickly from the speedo, but there's loads of drama. Traction is on, of course. That's off. Right, we got a nice bridge approaching. Let's get the windows down. I've got nothing to say, man. I've got nothing to say. Okay, trying to dart me into a hedge there. Yeah, look, oil sensor light. That's been my friend since the start of this project. It just, whenever I go over some bumps, like that, the oil sensor light comes on. Nothing to worry about. That's just this raggedy GTI. Just flip the downshift. Nice. Love this gearbox. Everything seems to be running good. Temps are good. Ooh, nice Gulf Forest state. Yeah, the vector gauge is very helpful. It's telling me IAT is only 21 degrees, so yeah, let's go. This is exactly why I wanted a manual. You get that kind of thrap noise on the upshift. It's like a DHG bag, but better and less farty sounding. For the life that this car has had, it could take some abuse, man. Fair bit of pull to the right there. Wave track's just figuring out what on earth is going on and why there's so much extra power. You can't actually hear the Venturi much because it is a sealed duct. It's not like constantly like making loads of spoolie noises, it's just the setup generally. That was definitely a flame at the back then. That was a big enough bang for sure. Just being a bit more cautious than usual because I don't fancy getting thrown off into a tree. I don't know what's going on with the suspension, it is in comfort, but it's not as confidence inspiring. With this much power though, it feels like it's going to dart away from me. That is a lot of power. Once I get the suspension looked at, easily going to be my most dramatic car I own. Yes, more so than the M140i in some ways, because this is so kind of, it feels overwhelmed. Whereas the M140i doesn't. That feels like an OEM fast car. This feels to me, yeah, like stage 2 RS3 quick. That's what it feels to me. Facelift, and that is no joke because I've had the car, so I can tell you it's definitely quick. It's just the whole kind of front wheel drive MQB thing. They just seem to get up and go. It's unusual how quick this car is for the power. To approaching junction. Now, I've had a few people saying that this whole exercise is pretty pointless because whilst by having 500 horsepower front wheel drive, you can't get the power down and all that. And I should have done it to an R. I mean, they're probably new to the channel because I've always kind of done GTIs. I've had an S3, obviously I've got the RS3 currently, so they've got my Haldex fixed when I need it. But personally, on a back road, I much prefer to drive these front wheel drive big power things because they feel so much more sketchy. You feel a bit more alive when you drive them. If you had this power in a Golf R, it would feel effortless. And I know because I've driven so many different Golf Rs and ones with way more power than this, and they still have that safety to them. The reason why I like the RS3 is because it has a faster engine, so it adds a bit more drama. Granted, it's a lot more expensive than a Golf R, and not everyone is in the position to buy an RS3. But that's just my take on it. I feel like the only way to make those Haldex cars exciting is to have an exciting power plant. E888's more of a, it's very generic, but you can make it cool by adding loads of wheel spin and drilling. But you need front wheel drive for that. I swear, when I look at the speedo, it's not even going that fast, but I feel like I'm doing 1,000 miles an hour. And that's all that matters. Yeah, traction off. Not a fan. That overrun is only in traction off. That's why I've left it on, not because I'm too scared of it. I just don't like looking like a knob. Everyone just see the car sounding like a machine gun going past. Not my thing, just not my thing. I only do it for the flame shot on the dyno, and that's about it. So yeah, I think I'll need to head back for yet another tweak. Ask Doug to turn that off. But then I do like it when the traction's on because it does like an occasional bang here and there, which is quite natural. See, that's perfect, that is. Bang here and there. Little crack on the upshift. Nice. Now I know the draggy warriors want to know what times this does. I actually want to know as well because I quite like using draggy. Let's be honest, it's the best way to check if your car is actually quick. I will do some 100 to 200 runs on the Autobahn when I get a second. But more of the primary issue right now is I don't trust this car's alignment unless I'm on a really smooth road. But the Autobahn stretch I use is fairly bumpy, so I feel like if I do a run, I'm going to get sent off into a hedge. Not to mention, we have got a smoking issue, which I'm going to bring up soon. I need a catch can. Right, folks, I think this is a good place to end today's video. The roads are getting quite busy now, so I might as well sign off. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and it's up to your expectations of what you thought 492 PS GTI is like. Safe to say it's a pretty violent car, and yeah, there's plenty of drama and all that good stuff. If you enjoyed it, make sure you do drop a like on the video, subscribe for a lot more content to come, and yeah, let me know what other stuff you want to see on the car, and also look out for the handling video in a few days time. But I'll stop rambling now and I'll leave you to it.